Good morning and welcome everyone to this UGLOH Sustainable Week e-conference on climate action aligned with the Sustainable Development Goal 13. This event is organized during the European Sustainable Development Week as a part of the UGLOH Alliance contribution to raising awareness and promoting sustainable action across Europe. The UGLOH Sustainable Week will bring together experts, academics, and students from 9 partner universities to share knowledge and foster collaborations towards a more sustainable future. So just to introduce myself a little, my name is Ziana Shamshuddin Barwani. I am from Université Paris-Saclay, and I'm a master's student. I am a part of the UGLOH LSB, and again, a warm welcome to all of you. We will like to start with our first speaker, which will be Dr. Tanya Uena Candel. She's an assistant professor at University of Alcalá in Spain, and her presentation will be about arts education for sustainable development, which introduces the artifact of eco-project, which demonstrates how artistic creation can foster reflection, critical thinking, and awareness about the climate emergency through collaborative and art-based education. The floor is all yours.
Good afternoon. I would like to thank you for the opportunity to present this work in the Sustainable Development Weeks. I'm going to talk about a project that I developed last academic course with students from both Alcalá University and Nebrija University in collaboration with the General Coordination of Education at the Prado Museum and Sphere Foundation. The Sphere Foundation works to promote independence of people with functional diversity. This is the summary with the main points that I will talk about during the presentation. The Artifact Eco Project was developed from October 2024 to June 2025 among the different collaborators that I already mentioned. The name of this project is a play on words between artifact, as a result of a creative process, and artifact, which means the power of art to provoke reflection and critical thinking. In this slide, you can see the relationships of Artifact Eco Project to Prado Inclusivity Program and other different projects that are developed in the Prado Museum. My colleague Santiago González and I co-wrote 2 different papers where we discuss 2 of these projects. As you can see, in one of these papers, we discuss climate grief. But what is climate grief? Climate grief is the feeling of loss, fear, anxiety, distress in the face of catastrophic climate change. We developed this project in order to help students to cope with climate grief. During this time, when several planetary boundaries are being seriously compromised, we were motivated to explore the symbolic representation of climate grief through art in the context of the Prado Museum. This exploration encouraged us to abandon our anthropocentric perception and embrace conscious change that favors sustainability, eco-social justice, and biodiversity preservation. Here you can see the research methods that we use in the project. I would like to highlight ecofeminism because ecofeminism is a school of thought and a social movement that integrates feminism and environmentalism. For example, we focused on artwork made by women in this project. Also, the universal design for learning was particularly useful to design the artistic activities. In the word orthography, A stands for artist, R stands for researcher, and T stands for teacher. This method integrates three perspectives: being an artist, being a researcher, and being a teacher. The main goals of the project were to use the arts in order to transform the negative feeling of climate grief into positive actions. And also to collaborate with the Prado Museum's Sphere of Action project and the Sphere Foundation to develop sustainable artistic activities. The participants were 19 students enrolled in performing art teaching at Nebrija University and 12 students from contemporary processes in early childhood education at University of Alcalá. In total, there were 31 students. We used a written report, learning portfolio, discussion group, and an assessment questionnaire answered by Spheres of Action group. We also made use of Hawke scale that I will explain later. And another important technique was the triple gaze observation. You can imagine a triangle and you have to observe yourself, the others, and the creative process. This triple consciousness applies in all phases of this project, as a researcher, as a teacher, and as an artist. In this scheme, the red colors corresponds to the activities carried out by the students of Nebrija University, and the blue colors correspond to those carried out by the students of University of Alcalá. Both groups of students performed the same activities. They all visited the Prado Museum. They all met people with functional diversity that worked at the museum. They all learned how to work with people with special needs. And they all designed an artistic activity to do with this group of people. In the case of Nebrija University, it was a performance. And in the case of University of Alcalá, it was a blacklight activity. In this image, you can see performing arts teaching students with reproduction of the artwork that makes up Ecosistema Prado. These pieces serve as inspiration to create their performance. For example, in the case of this lion, painted by Rosa Bonheur in the 19th century, the students reflected in their performance on how individual actions contribute to the care of ecosystems and the animals that inhabit them. In relation to this piece that you can see in the background, we can observe the dialogue between University of Alcalá students. This was the fluorescent savanna that the students created for their blacklight activity. And in the following two images, we can see the blacklight activity carried out with people with functional diversity at the museum. The student reflections highlighted their responsibility to inspire critical thinking through their creation and artistic proposals. Students appreciated the opportunity to meet and work with people with functional diversity who worked at the Prado Museum, and also students experienced how artistic activities promote awareness for the importance of education for sustainable development. We used a Hawke scale to measure the students' levels of distress related to climate change. As you can see in the first portion of the table, on average, here, on average, students felt stressed or anxious several days of the week, that less than half. In the fourth portion of the table, we can see how the feelings of helplessness were the most common. And in the second portion, the incessant rumination ranked as the most intense. As you can see, the artifact project seemed to be very successful. People with functional diversity who participated in the artistic activities reported being highly satisfied with the experience, noting a positive therapeutic effect overall and enjoying in particular the university group dynamic and the black light activity. From the feedback of the Sphere Foundation, we can observe that the variety of artistic language used in the performance and in the black light activities promoted group reflection about sustainability. In conclusion, following UNESCO's Education for Sustainable Development framework, we were able to foster a productive sense of community among artifact participants where cooperative learning, inquiry, and creativity resulted in artwork that promotes self-awareness as well as social and ecological kinship. With the success of Artifact, we can confidently conclude that art and the creative process are adequate and effective means to cope with the grief of imminent ecological collapse in particular, and to facilitate positive change more generally. I would like to finish up with this quote by Berta Cáceres. And knowing that there is no other spare planet here, there is only one. You have here my email, just in case you would like to contact me. And now I'm happy to answer any question about my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Tanya. And honestly, congratulations on the success of your project. It sounds like a very cool project, and I hope it keeps reaching its highs. We do have a couple questions for you. I will read out the first question, which is, were there any challenges in implementing this interdisciplinary and collaborative methodology? And if yes, then which ones?
Well, I think the main challenge is the communication. You need to communicate your ideas with different people who work in different institutions. But when there is a common energy to try to do this type of projects, then everything is okay. Everything fits well.
Perfect. Thank you so much. The second question would be, it's actually a compliment too. So this is a great initiative. How often do you hold this activity, and how much collaboration is there at the university for this?
Well, this activity, this project, is related with a big project that was created by Prado Museum. So we were lucky to incorporate this activity, this proposal, inside of this framework. And the timing was one academic course, as I said before. And this year, this academic course, we have another type of project, also in collaboration with the Prado Museum, but it's not the same topic that we are working here. I don't know if I answered the question.
I think that was pretty good. Sorry, I forgot to unmute myself. So we will keep the other questions for the question and answer session, just to kind of stay in the time track, if that's okay. But with that, thank you so much, Dr. Tanya, for this great presentation and for the great insight that you provided.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Also, now we will be introducing our third and final speakers for today. That's going to be Sydney Rail and Nikki Stella, who are master's students at LMU in Munich, Germany. Their presentation will be about tackling climate change in the lab, which focuses on the Green Office Initiative at LMU Munich, which is a student-led sustainability project which promotes environmental friendly laboratory practices, waste reduction, and climate conscious research environments. Please welcome Sydney and Nikki. The floor is all yours.
Thank you so much. Let me just get this up and running. Okay. Perfect. Okay, so thank you everyone for being here and being willing to learn about this stuff. We're very pleased to present the Green Office at Campus Martinsried at LMU, where Stella and I are both master's students. First, we're going to go into what exactly Green Offices are, what their initiatives are, what kind of activities that they can take part in, kind of actions they can take. And then Stella is going to talk to you about our specific Green Office and our initiatives. So let's get going. To start off, what exactly are green offices? Green offices are student-led, staff-supported university organizations. Their central goal is to drive climate change and sustainability action. Oh, sorry. I realized I put animations on this slide. Um, Green offices are also like snowflakes. Each one is unique to the needs of each university that it serves. And ultimately, the combined power of students and university faculty working towards sustainable action and the adaptability of the working green office model to each university's particularities makes this model invaluable for a more sustainable future, starting with more sustainability within universities. So the first Green Office was established in 2010 at Maastricht University in the Netherlands by a group of 9 employees, student employees, who worked in 4 vital fields: research, education, operations, and community. The idea was born as a response to the lack of student-led sustainability structures, which these innovators, I guess, believed was vital to the success of university sustainability initiatives. Thus, the first Green Office was designed to bridge that vital student insight and passion with the necessary resources of university operations, research, and institutional power. This original Green Office team found some success in early initiatives, such as the increase in organic and sustainable food on campus, implementation of waste separation and solar cell installation, and they also started publishing these annual sustainability reports. They founded the Maastricht University Journal of Sustainability Studies, and they ultimately adopted an official sustainability policy, instating the Green Office at Maastricht was obviously not without its setbacks. With change, there comes a lot of pushback generally from universities. Nonetheless, their perseverance allowed their ideas to spread. And now that same Green Office model implemented at Maastricht has been adapted and adopted by universities across Europe, including our own university, LMU. To give you an idea of this global spread since its genesis, there are now over 100 hubs, green offices worldwide, with 60 of those located in Europe alone. The Maastricht Green Office model was awarded the UNESCO Japan Prize for Education in Sustainable Development in 2015, and that kind of helped the model gain a lot of visibility and initiated this global spread. But in addition, the spread has also been supported by these companies that are aimed at the development and support of student sustainability offices. Companies such as the Green Office Movement and Rootability. The Green Office Network, which is connected to the Green Office Movement, is a great resource for starting a green office at your own university or gaining ideas for how to best implement sustainable practices and ultimately reach your sustainability goals. Thus, not only are green offices spreading, the number of resources available to start and support new green offices is growing too, which will hopefully increase this already very impressive outreach. Now, as fantastic as the global expansion is, I want to discuss in a bit more detail what green offices actually do, what they can do, and thus why they're vital to sustainable change in universities. So getting involved in campus operations is probably one of the most impactful mechanisms by which green offices operate. As stated earlier, the original Green Office team, they increased organic food on campus, they implemented waste separation, installed solar cells, that kind of stuff. Green offices, in addition, can conduct campus sustainability audits. That's something I've seen from a lot of other green offices. So they see how much energy the university or different campuses are using. They're tracking how waste is processed, how much water is being used, the kind of transport that students are using to get to and from campus, and then transport on campus. Green offices can also find ways to facilitate more eco-friendly transport to support zero waste and plastic-free initiatives and partner with campus facilities to reduce waste and reduce energy and emissions and that sort of thing. Advising leadership is another important role of a lot of green offices. Green offices have established sustainability committees, developed a sustainability policy for the university, and can also encourage sustainable practices within departments. And that's something Stella is going to talk about in a few minutes, is our green office specifically operates within the element biology department and within sustainability in labs. So that's our central focus. Then building community and engaging with the campus community is also incredibly important, and this can be done through events, workshops, newsletters, Instagram posts, awareness campaigns, pretty much anything. They can support sustainability research as well, and can also contribute to sustainability in research, which is once again a main focus of our green office. Green offices can also integrate sustainability teachings into course curricula and offer extracurricular activities to further education and awareness outside of the lecture hall. So, of course, no green office does everything, but there are so many things that green offices can do, and each green office is malleable to the needs of the university that it serves. So with that being said, Stella's going to tell you more about what our green office is doing and why our green office, or how our green office has contributed to sustainability on our campus.
Yes, hello also from me. So as Sydney said, I'm going to talk about our green office here in Munich and how it started and what we're mostly doing. So our green office started in 2022 as a pilot project, and it was actually an idea that originated from the Umweltreferat of LMU, which is translated as the Environmental Office of LMU, which is also a student-led organization that organizes a lot of workshops and events for students related to sustainability. And it's basically a joint initiative between four different factors, like the Faculty of Biology, which is the place that both me and Sydney study, the Biomedical Center Munich, which is also a research center, and the Safety, Health, and Stability Office of LMU, and the Umweltreferat, which is how it was, which is how their idea was originated, basically, and how the project started. Can we move to the next slide? No? So the goals of our green office is, since we are based in a research environment, so in the biocenter and in the biomedical center, which is, as I mentioned, the research center, we have a lot of research labs that, of course, need a lot of equipment, and they have a lot of energy consuming equipment. So they, of course, need also to introduce sustainable practices to them. So we tried to apply a program which is called My Green Lab certification program, and it's organized by a nonprofit organization in the USA. So basically, we coordinate it through. We apply these practices in the labs, and we coordinate the program here in campus. I will talk about it a bit more in detail later. Second, of course, we want to inspire the students and staff on campus on sustainability issues and actions that are done around the world. And this we are trying to do through social media. So we have created different social media accounts to reach students and staff here in the Munich campus. And of course, we want to increase the visibility of the Green Office so that more people know about it and more Green Offices are established and more green initiatives happen, of course. And we also serve as a central coordination point for sustainability and climate protection. in the biology campus, and of course also in the LMU campus. And we're always open to discuss about collaboration projects with other green offices and other initiatives. Yeah, now we'll move to the next slide. So more into our projects of the Green Office. As I mentioned, we performed this certification program that I will talk more in detail later. We have performed several campus surveys to, for example, a mobility survey to assess how people move to and from campus, and if they use different transportation, like car, or if they take the bus, or if they take the bike, and propose different methods, for example, car sharing. And we have also done surveys to gather campus insights, to gather information on how the students and the staff see our campus and how sustainable they find the practices that the campus and the Green Office are doing. As I mentioned, we also have the social media to network with other Green Offices and other initiatives, and of course promote lab sustainability. So what can be done in a research lab to reduce the emissions. We also collect some energy saving measures for research labs, and also information on how a proper sustainability culture can be established in a lab in a knowledge database, which is though private to LMU, so only LMU students can access at the moment. And also we collaborate with other Green Offices and initiatives in different, organizing different workshops or seminars for students. Yes. So I just want to mention, as I don't know how many people are familiar with the lab work. So in biology labs, there is a lot of waste produced, of course. For example, in the first picture on the left, we can see like a whole trash bag of plastic waste that can be produced in just one day. And of course, this because it's single plastic use waste, it's hard to sometimes use something else because of course, contamination. You don't want to contaminate the sample by reusing it. So we need to trash it, but since still there is a way that you can do it properly by recycling different types of plastics, so that they don't just end up incinerated or in landfills. Second, of course, they consume a lot of energy and more than office spaces because they have a lot of energy requiring equipment. For example, here in the picture, you can see it's called a fume hood, and it's basically a space where we need to work sterile so that we don't contaminate our cells and other cells that we use, basically. And this also consumes a lot of energy because it requires stable airflow. So and a way to, of course, reduce it is just to always keep it closed when you don't need it, because it's often that because you need to work often in this area, people leave it open, and of course it consumes more energy than when it's not needed. And third, of course, labs produce a lot of consume a lot of water because it's needed to make a lot of buffers and a lot of different solutions that are needed in the lab. So it's important to be aware when you need something and when you don't need it, so that you don't overuse it. Yes, now we can move to the next slide. So for example, some measures that we apply here in the labs of the biology campus is that, of course, we recycle the different plastic waste, like the paper waste. For example, there are a lot of cardboard boxes that come with orders, like when you order a lot of supplies, and these, of course, get trashed and they should be recycled. We also recycle different type of plastic. So in the biology labs, we usually use different like, for example, well plates, as you can see here, or pipettes, which are used for experiments, and these can also be recycled separately, and they can be reused to make new plastics of the same type, and not just get incinerated, for example. And then a third measure that we use is, as you can see on the left side, there are a lot of boxes piled up. So these are everyday consumed. So they contain some plastic tips that are used for experiments, and you can use up to I don't know, even two per day, and they all go to trash. But at least what we can say from that is the boxes, which are usually returned back to the companies that we take them from, and they're refilled and reused so that you don't also trash them, because since they're not contaminated with material, they can be reused. We can go to the next slide. Yes, and here I wanted to mention that it's important to build a global culture of sustainability in science, and here is a map of how many countries have applied the same certification program that we also apply here in the labs. As you can see, it's more than 2,000 worldwide, and in LMU and in the BMC, which are the centers here in Munich, are already 20 labs that are trying to improve their practices and change the sustainability culture in the lab. Next slide, now, please. Thank you. So the program that we apply, as I mentioned before, is a 2 years program. So the labs are challenged to change different aspects of the way they work. For example, regarding recycling, resource management, the purchases that they made, and if they're important or no. About water consumption, like the cold storage, the fume hoods that I mentioned before, and of course, infrastructure, energy. So, for example, what some labs here in the Biocenter have done is that they have reduced, so we have some big freezers that we store our samples, which are at -80, and they consume, of course, a lot of energy. And for that, we have tried to increase the temperature to -70. And this has actually saves a lot of energy, big amount of energy. So it's important also for more labs, if it's possible to do that, because it really saves energy. Yes. And with that, I would like to end my presentation, and thank you for your attention. And you can find us, of course, on Instagram or LinkedIn and see our updates and what we're currently doing. Yes, and also we have our email that you can contact us. And thank you for your attention again.
Thank you so much, Sydney and Stella. Amazing presentation, and I can genuinely relate as a master's student in pharmaceutical research about, the importance of having a green office, and this initiative, of course. We do have a couple of questions for you, and a lot of compliments for you and your project, of course. The first one would be, this is so cool. How are these organized, and how are they funded?
So as I said, our green office at least is organized by 3 different factors. So it's the Faculty of Biology. So there is a person in the Faculty of Biology that is helping. There is also a person in the Biomedical Center and also in the Safety and Health and Sustainability Office. And then the center of the green office, so the people that work in the green office is me and Sydney. So we are student assistants, and usually the way that the green offices are organized is this way. So there are several student assistants that are basically running the projects of the green office, and they are helped by different people that have different positions in the university. And also it's university funded. So it's funded by the university most of the times.
Perfect. The second question would be, what advice would you give to other universities that are looking to start a green office?
So I would say that it would be important to know who to contact. If, for example, if there is a sustainability advisor in the university or sustainability committee, it would be a good start to contact them. And also, I would say that the Faculty of Biology of the university is also a good start, because it depends actually on the goal, like, and what you want to achieve. For us, for example, that it was most important to start from bringing sustainability into labs. We started from the Faculty of the Biology, so it depends also on what exactly you want to achieve. But I think it's important to contact people that are in the university, and they know how the structure of the university works. So someone from the administration, for example, and someone that works in the um, if there is someone that is working on sustainability topics in general in the university, I would say. And then, yeah.
That was perfect. Thank you so much. There are a lot of other questions, but also I would like to ask everybody from the participants and whoever has questions, you can write it in the chat and the question and answer box. We can have a little question and answer session. But also, I would like to thank Sydney and Stella again so much for your presentation. I will be reading out another question that's for the two of you, which says, who runs the Green Office at LMU and how is it structured? Are there students or academic boards? And are there annual events with other Green offices in Germany planned for this year?
I would say most directly for us, it's run by two administrators within the biology department. So we have two biology faculty that kind of like run the Green Office, and then they're beholden to higher levels of administration at the university. But those we work directly with the people who are essentially running the office, which is administrators in our department. And then as for events in the future, I don't know, Stella, do you want to take that part?
At least for usually there are some events like some sustainability fairs that are organized, but they're not joint, so it's not all over Germany from what I know. There are in Munich, for example, like a joint sustainability fair that different initiatives can present. Sustainability initiatives, but it's not just for green offices, so anyone can participate. Yeah, so I wouldn't say that there is something annual planned for
Yeah.
this year.
I would say though, if you're looking to, for instance, get connected to other green offices or other such programs and initiatives, the Green Office Movement Network is really, really good for that. Because I agree with Stella, I haven't heard of any like joint events with all the green offices in Germany or like with green offices kind of coming together from different regions. But there is like a network where you can communicate with other green offices globally. So if that's kind of more what you were looking for with that, then that network is really fantastic.
Thank you. One more question for the two of you. Do you think this certification could be applied to other countries? Because it would be great to expand this project to other UGLO universities.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. The thing is that it's so every university organizes it by its own, from what I know. And if you're interested to start it in the labs of your university, you can contact them directly. The organization that basically runs it. So we also collaborate with them, and it's the assessment happens mostly online. So it's not that someone comes to the lab and they actually check what happens, but it's based on self-assessment, this program, and you are also awarded with an award at the end if you pass a specific level. So it also gets recognized, the achievements that you do. But if someone is interested for the organization that is doing it, we can send you their contact.
Thank you. That's all for the questions for you and Sydney. Again, thank you so much. It's a great initiative and, of course, an amazing presentation, and good luck for the future of this initiative. We have a question for Dr. Tanya. And the question is, are there plans to continue or expand this project in the future academic years in Alcala, or even expanding it to other UGLO universities, for instance?
Well, thank you for the question. Yeah, I would like to expand this project in other universities in the site of the EUGLOH net. So I will happy if someone wants to contact me and try to develop this project with other students and maybe with other museums. It could be great.
Perfect. Thank you so much for answering. With that, thank you, everyone, but also to all the participants. I would like to tell you that if you have any more questions that you would like to ask any of the presenters today, they have presented their emails. Feel free to reach out to them and ask them any questions. And also, thank you all for your active participation and your thoughtful questions. A special thanks to our speakers, of course, Céline Dupont, Lorien Escudejo. I hope I said your name properly. Dr. Tanya, Sydney Rail, and Stella Crony for sharing your inspiring work and contributions to climate action, of course. We would also like to thank University Paris-Saclay, the UGLOH Alliance, and all the other universities for organizing this event, and also a personal shout out and thank you to Macarena and Kristen for supporting this project so much. Just for your information, the recording of this session will be made available on the UGLOH YouTube channel in the coming weeks. And that is really it for today. We look forward to welcoming you at the next e-conference in the series, and see you all very, very soon. Thank you so much.